This is kind of a maintenance tip to all of you Model A's who got your cars running this summer, and you're tickled that they're running. You can't believe they can run so well. A lot of people have helped you, and now it's time for you to do a few things to keep it running. And I've listed 10 things that I think are mandatory. I think you have to do these to enjoy the Model A. So now that you got your car running, don't just neglect it. It's not a TV set. You don't turn it on and forget about it. You have to give it a little loving care and a little very simple attention. So the first thing I list is the coolant. Just make sure you have antifreeze in it. A broken block is no fun, and it's quite serious. Make sure you have oil in it and keep it clean. You can change oil every 500 miles, every 1,000 miles, depending on how long it's been in there, because the oil will get dirty. Check the transmission for lube. Now this is going to be an area that really gets neglected. You have to crawl under the right side and around the muffler, and at the side of the transmission, take that pipe plug out, stick a little screwdriver in there and see what the level is. You want it right up to the level of the opening. So take some 600 oil with you under there and squirt it in until it starts to run out, and then put the plug back. The transmission will leak oil, so you have to add oil, I don't know, every 6 months, every year, something like that. But don't just forget about it, because it will go dry, and that's another big repair. Speaking of lube, you've got to, at least once a year, and certainly after you get your car running, look at the differential grease. Take out that pipe plug and stick your finger in there. The oil should be right up to the edge, almost running out. If not, squirt some 600 weight oil in there and put it back. Put the pipe plug back and check it every year. Another area for lube is this guy. This is your steering gear. That's a little pipe plug, and you put 600 weight oil in there. The problem with the gear is that by design it's really not sealed. It's only the sector shaft bushings try to keep the oil in. There are some new ways of putting seals in there, but it requires removing the gear and do some machining. Some of us use STP because it's a little thicker, a little messy to put in there, but it's a little thicker, it's quite slippery, and it tends to stay in longer. But you should check this too, because you don't want to wear that sector tooth out. Another critical area you have to do, and that is lube the kingpins. I'd lube those every 500 miles because they're a high wear area, and the repair is not so terrible, but keep them lubed and you won't have to repair it. It'll last a long time. Upper and lower kingpin grease fitting. Now that covers 6 of the things that I say you have to do. The 7th is another lube item. There's a very highly loaded bushing right behind the backing plate here. It's the rear brake lever bushing. This bushing goes horizontal, and it goes in and operates a cam to separate your brake shoes. And every time you push on the brake, that bushing has got a real good load on it, and you got to keep lube in it. And the way you find that lube fitting, where the radius arm comes in and attaches to the backing plate, it makes a fork, and right in between that fork is the fitting going toward front of car. Make sure you lube that. It's easy to miss. If you have somebody else lube your car, they may miss it. So that's a very important lube point. The rear brake bushing. And the next thing you don't have to do very often, but you have to do it, and that is make sure your front wheels are packed with grease and that your rear wheel bearings are lubed. So you can pull those drums off and make sure, and check it once a year. Now the last maintenance item I want to mention is you got to clean the spark plugs. They do foul on a Model A. That's normal. If you do a little parade driving, a little idling or whatnot, they will become black and fuzzy. The plug is still just fine. Just take a wire brush and clean it and scrape the carbon out of the annulus there. If you're not sure how to clean the plugs, I'm sure one of your club members will show you. But simply clean them, check them, take out one plug. If it's black and fuzzy, clean all four. Now the last thing I have is for you to drive your car. Don't drive it once a month. That's not enough. Drive it at least once a week, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, even if it's just to go to the coffee shop and pick up a cup of coffee or something. But you got to drive the Model A. If you don't drive it, it will turn to dust. It will give you trouble. So I hope all this helps. But now that you got your car running, keep that baby running. It will last forever. And enjoy it.